Good morning. Thank you for joining me this morning for these few minutes of quiet time before we get into our busy day. So I invite you to just relax your physical body in your chair. Just feel the weight of your body as it presses against the chair and just allow it to be. With your spine straight, allow your shoulders to relax, your jaw to relax, your fingers and toes to relax, your forehead to relax, and your eyelids to relax, simply allowing your eyes to close. Counting the breath, breathing in for 4 counts, and breathing out. Just allowing the breath to come and to go. Breathing in and breathing out. I invite you now to just imagine that you are standing outdoors on a beautiful, warm spring day. That first day of spring, when suddenly everything comes back to life. When everything is growing so fast, you can almost see the leaves growing and the buds unfolding. And just breathing in the freshness of the air, feeling it on your face. And you observe that there are ladybugs and dragonflies and hummingbirds in the air, all flitting about, busily getting ready for spring. And imagine that you are standing in a meadow just on the edge of a stand of beautiful trees. The flowers are blooming all around you. Birds are singing, and the sunshine is fresh on your face and your back. And if you're comfortable doing so, imagine that your feet are bare and you feel the cool grass beneath your feet, the warm sun on your back and shoulders, the gentlest of breezes on your face. I invite you now to turn and look toward that stand of trees and observe those trees, really observe them. What species are they? Are they coniferous trees, deciduous trees, evergreens, maples, oaks, fir, cedar? Really look at those trees. And slowly, ever so slowly, begin to walk toward the trees. Feeling the cool grass turning to the warmth of the well-worn path into the trees. It may be firm under your feet, or there may be a soft cushion of evergreen needles. Feel it on your feet. Feel it with each step as you approach and step into that grove of trees. And just inside, you will see a clearing. And stepping into that clearing, you are surrounded by the trees. Turn a complete circle and really see each tree. Feel a connection with each tree. Breathing into that connection. And now choose one tree and gently approach it. Perhaps with your palms turned forward in a gesture of friendship. Place one hand on the tree. Feel the smooth roughness of the bark. Place your other hand on the tree and feel its energy between your palms. Lean forward and allow your chest to touch the tree, knowing that it can sense your heartbeat. Become aware and feel the sap running in the tree. Feel the slow, gentle expansion of the tree as it continues to grow. Feel the growth rings, one for each year of life. Turn now and let your back lean against the tree. Feel the tree trunk pressing up against your back. Slowly bend your knees, allowing your back to slide down the tree trunk. And come to a sitting position, nestled in the arms of the trunk that reaches out and branches out into the roots. The roots that reach into the ground to find the water to nourish the tree. The roots that branch out and reach out and communicate with the other trees in the area. Feel yourself connected to that web of life that is all around you. And just breathe. Just being aware of the tree, your connection with the tree's connection with the other trees, the circulation of life between you. And realize that as you exhale, the gift of carbon dioxide on your breath nourishes the tree. And as you inhale, you're drawing in the tree's gift of oxygen to nourish your body. Breathing deeply and gently and evenly. Exchanging life force with the tree. As you continue to breathe, gently lift your head and look up through the canopy above your head. See the leaves dancing, the branches swaying, the sun shining, nourishing both you and the trees. Slowly and gently now, I invite you to imagine yourself standing, once again placing your hands on the tree trunk, feeling its life, and step back into the middle of the clearing. And once again, turning in a complete circle, acknowledge each tree. Thank the trees for sharing themselves with you and for all they do to nourish life. And stepping back onto the path now. Become aware once again of the texture of the path under your feet. And slowly walk out from the glade of trees, back into the meadow, the cool grass. And even for the few moments where you have been absent from this place, you notice the difference. More flowers have sprouted and grown and blossomed. More hummingbirds have arrived, more dragonflies, more ladybugs, more butterflies. Look carefully at it all. Appreciate it all, acknowledge it all. Feel the warmth of the sun. And just spend a moment in gratitude. And I invite you now to gently bring yourself back to an awareness of time and place. Becoming aware once again of your feet, your hands, the weight of your body in the chair. And breathing in, feel your body lighter, more relaxed, at peace. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Thanks for being with us this morning. Please stay around and listen to Michael Drislane's lovely musical prelude and then our service. Namaste.
Yeah. Wasn't that just on stage? What just happened?
Like I was in bed by 10 and you're like, he's still there.
All right, guys, ready?
Anytime.
Ready.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
One more song. Oh, sorry. Wrong show.
Hey, welcome everyone. So we changed some things the other day, and this is the first time I played drums since we moved the speaker here. I could not hear the vocals almost at all.
Oh, no.
Which is, as a drummer, just so you know, hearing the vocal patterns is really, really good. But that's okay. We'll adapt. And then also we decided, because I don't like podiums, so it's like, let's get rid of this podium. So now I'm up here with no podium, and I'm kind of feeling a little naked. So,
You are.
thank you, Ken. I will imagine everybody out here naked.
You
That's
are in fact
beautiful.
wearing clothes, like we. Just in case you're uncertain.
I guess maybe exposed,
Exposed.
might be the better word. I feel a little exposed this morning, and vulnerable. Yeah. Anyhow, welcome everybody. Welcome to Unity. This is what we like to call a positive path to spiritual living. Everybody is welcome, and I'd like to welcome all of you on behalf of all of our members at Unity. If you're new to Unity, welcome. If this is your first time here, you can seek out anybody really and talk to them about Unity, and just ask them this question first: is this your first time here? And if it is, then maybe the two of you could seek somebody else out and then ask that same question. And before we get back to music, I did want to acknowledge that we are grateful to be living, working, playing on the traditional and unceded territory, in this case in Nanaimo, of the Snuneymuxw peoples, and throughout British Columbia, Vancouver Island, and Canada. We acknowledge that. Let us sing.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. Letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love.
coming out, Sharon. That's good.
I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road to heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing freedom today. I'm choosing freedom today. I am walking the road to heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I choose forgiveness today. I choose forgiveness today. I am walking the road to heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing healing today. I'm choosing healing today. I am walking the road to heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road to heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road to heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today.
I wrote it on my chart. That's what you meant. That's what I meant, yes. I was giving you a very advanced notice at the ending. Very advanced.
I invite all of you to join me. A little prayer right now. So if you're comfortable, you can just close your eyes for a moment. Make this a prayer of gratitude. And I invite you to think of either a person, an experience, or one thing about yourself that you can be grateful for in this moment. And as you think about that and feel that gratitude, I invite you to affirm that that feeling is available. Anytime there's a moment of discomfort, anytime you feel a little moment of suffering, you can return to a moment of gratitude and affirm within yourself that there are great places, great moments, great people, great things about yourself to appreciate and affirm. And so it is. So again, here I was thinking, oh, there's a podium. I'll print out a piece of paper and it'll be here in front of me and I'll be able to read. Man, of all the things I could be grateful for right now, it would be a podium. Today is for those that follow the liturgical calendar, today is the first day of Advent, leading up to Christmas, and the first week is about hope and faith. And I don't know about the rest of you, I've often struggled with the word hope. Like, hopefully things will get better, or hopefully this will work out. And I think that what I've come to the conclusion is I can live with some hope for a better day, but it's really faith that will determine that outcome. And so faith, and I was just writing some stuff down this morning about how I felt about this. Faith is knowing that all is already given, that it's already here for us. Whatever it is that we want, it's available. That the divine presence, I am, is always present within each one of us and working toward our highest good. And again, if we affirm that within ourselves in those moments of stress or anxiety or anxiousness or indecision, we can go within ourselves and find that faith. It is knowing in full faith that the key to a life loved and a feeling of success is in these words from Rumi. The cure for the pain is in the pain. Unfortunately, yes. The divine presence I am is always with us, each one of us, and working toward our highest good. Our job is to simply trust and allow. You know, it's one thing to trust in things, but do you fully allow things to unfold for yourself? The question I often come up against for myself is, am I truly allowing life to unfold right now, or am I fighting it? You know, sometimes that feeling of life just coming at you, you know, where it just feels like it's just moment after moment. It's like I'm on this treadmill. It's just, life is just throwing things at me as opposed to being with it. Fear of poverty, fear of sickness, fear of violence, fear of missing out, FOMO, you know, fear of missing out, fear of someone or something out to get you. In all of these instances, you and I can call upon that divine presence I am that is within each of us to guide us, calm us, and direct us. And from scriptures, Hebrews 11:1, now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. That to me is trust. Thank you. I don't know what's next. A song.
More songs. Yeah, when that slide changes and you're like, the song's, oh no!
I'm going to feel my seat rising to a higher level.
I feel my seat.
So, people have come in while I wasn't looking. Welcome. And I want to welcome especially a lady named Sheila in Memphis, Tennessee, who tells us that she is watching us regularly. So,
Hi, Sheila.
So, I've got a real echo going here. So we talked about this lack of podium thing, and we tried it last week, and it seemed to work, but here I am all by myself up here. Anyway, so impeccable with our actions. And last week when we had our little discussion question answer period, Andrea had a very interesting question that I've been pondering on all week. And that was to do with the theory that on some level before we incarnate on Earth, we might actually have some input as to what kind of a life experience we'll have. Some people think that we choose our parents and the place we're born and the kind of lessons that we're destined to learn in this lifetime. And so situations are set up that facilitate that. And she related that to how does that relate, for instance, to when a catastrophe happens and some people are affected by it and some people are not. And I don't know if there's any truth to that, but it's an interesting thing to ponder. And I have to confess that whenever I'm waiting in an airport, I always kind of scan the boarding area to see who else is on this flight with me. And do they look like maybe they're ready to pack it in? So then there's all sorts of conjectures and interesting things to consider. How will we ever know whether they're true or not? But some people who theorize and teach reincarnation say that each one of us, every soul, needs to have every experience of life. So that we all need to experience being male and female, and probably something in between these days. We all need to experience being wealthy and poverty-stricken. We all need to experience being healthy and disabled. We don't like my microphone.
Sherry, no. It would be the handheld if it was anything.
Do you want me to switch?
Maybe use the handheld, yeah. I think
Okay, are you turning me off here?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Am I still here? Ooh. Is this one off? That's better.
Yeah, loud.
That's better. Whew. And then we all need to experience being black, white, brown, different cultures. And we all need to experience being good and being evil. In order for each of us to be complete, because if each of us is a cell of the one, and the one is whole and complete, perhaps we need to have all those experiences to understand each other adequately. It's interesting, isn't it? But most of the time it seems like life is just happening, does it not? It's just happening. We have no control. We don't know how. But we do know that we can, what unity teaches is we can always control how we respond to it. And unity teaches also that we are creating on a very real level in our human experience while we're here, that our thoughts are creative. And they're not always directly, when we're diagnosed with cancer, we say, well, I never thought about cancer. But something in our life and in the way we hold life is manifesting out there. So I want to tell you a little story that illustrates that. So many, many years ago, I was working for a Japanese company. Actually, I was working for a Japanese man because everybody in this company kowtowed to, I will call him Mr. Kikuchi. That's not his real name. That's just what I'll call him. And my job was to run the Canadian office. And that meant I was the only employee in Canada, so that meant everything from answering the phone and doing the filing to supervising the operations of the internationally renowned property management firm. It meant traveling to Seattle every 2 weeks to check on the people there and rat on them if necessary. It meant traveling to Maui every 3 months to check on the housekeepers at his 2 homes there. Sounds romantic, doesn't it? Gets tired real quick. But one day, Mr. Kikuchi decided that he needed to bring his sailboat from Japan to Victoria so that he could sail in North American waters. So he hired a crew and they brought the boat. And my job was to greet the crew and communicate where they were to moor this boat and make sure it was berthed and looked after and get them on a plane back to Japan. Wasn't more than a week later, he decided he needed his sailboat in Seattle. So my next job was to interview and hire a crew and get this boat to Seattle. And since I would need to go and do the administration getting the boat registered, I was required to sail to Seattle with them. Well, I have never sailed in my life. I do not have sailing clothes and sailing shoes and all that good stuff. So I went shopping, and I found a nice lightweight pants, waterproof pants and jacket, and I thought this would do fine. So I tried them on, And the size 10 pants fit perfectly, and the size 10 jacket was too small. So you know what I did, don't you? I got 2 sets, and I switched. And I rationalized that because there's lots of women who are bigger on the bottom than they are on the top, and they'd be happy to find this mismatched suit. But I knew it wasn't quite integrity to take this suit without asking, so I kind of skulked out of Reitman's. You know, the lady who comes out of IKEA saying, "Start the car, start the car." That was kind of how I went. So came the day that we were to go to Seattle, and I'm getting dressed to go, and I put my hand in the sleeve of this jacket, and it's stuck. So I take it out and turn it inside out, and I look and I realize the sleeve has been sewn in, twisted twice. So in order to put this jacket on, I have to go. But I had no choice. It was sailing day, so I wear this outfit. So this, I think, gave rise to a whole bunch of circumstances. So we went sailing to Seattle, and it was fabulous. If you've never sailed, the experience of movement with no sound is just delicious. And so I got to, because I don't know anything about crewing, I got to sit on the deck for 3 days and meditate. And there really was a pot of a school of dolphins that danced about behind, and a great gray whale just rolled up from underneath the boat and looked up at me with this big eye. It was fabulous. So we arrive in Seattle, and I don't know how we got there, but we had dinner with Mr. Kikuchi and a couple of his colleagues and the crew in a very nice Japanese restaurant with some very nice food and very nice wine. And at the end of the meal, whether Mr. Kikuchi bought it or whether the management just recognized that he had a very important person on his hands or not, they sent over this tray of shooters. And I'd never had a shooter before, but it's straight alcohol, you know. And I mean, that's what everybody was doing, so that's what I did. And at the end of the meal, Mr. Kikuchi gets out his checkbook, signs a blank check, and hands it to me so that I can go to the registry office and register the boat tomorrow. I knew already that the registration was going to cost $12,000, so there's a lot of money in this bank account that he's signing a blank check on. And then he hands me the keys to the Mercedes and said, "You have to take the crew back to the boat." And, you know, you do not say no to Mr. Kikuchi. But here I am in a city that I don't live in. I haven't brought my purse. I have no ID, no driver's license, and I've had some liquor. But I made it. I want you to know I made that okay. And we got back to the boat, and I went to get ready for bed, and I thought, I better put this check in a safe place. So I reached into the pocket of the jacket from hell, and not only did it have a twisted arm, it had very shallow pockets, and I did not have the check. Signed check. So I go back and I search the car. And you know, I really searched the car and it's not there. And I checked retraced my steps, not there. So I said, I've got to take this car back to the restaurant and check where we parked it to see if the check, not there. I start to panic, driving all the way back. What am I going to do? Call the police? What can they do? Do I have to go to the hotel and wake Mr. Kikuchi and tell, what do I do? And then suddenly I said to myself, I could pray. I could pray. I could do a 5-step spiritual mind treatment, and I could pray. And I prayed up a storm that night. And eventually I fell asleep around 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was awake at first light, 4 o'clock in the morning. And so I said, okay, I have to do this now. I have to go tell Mr. Kikuchi what's happened. I just can't not do it. So I went back to the car, and I opened the car door, and there was the check right there beside the driver's seat. Now, I honestly believe to this day that that check was not there before I prayed. Do with what you like with that, but our thoughts are creative, are they not? Yeah. So, it is a great story, and it demonstrates how one out of integrity leads to this descending spiral. You know, that's right. So, we all are familiar with the 4 agreements, and one of them is be meticulous with your word. I'm saying we also need to be meticulous with our actions. We need to keep in integrity, and we know when we're doing something that's out of integrity. And it's not a direct reaction, but living out of integrity draws things to me, does it not? And you can probably all think of a story. And you know, anybody who doesn't want to believe that our thought is creative will just say, well, it's just coincidence. But the way we live in unity is nothing is coincidence. That we're all part of the one, and that we all influence each other, that our every action and every word does something out there. People out there are affected by the decisions and the choices that we make. So, how is it that we can be impeccable with our actions? How can we watch them and know what we're doing? Well, I come back to the 5 basic agreements, basic principles of unity, which you all know by heart, I know. And the first one is that God, and again, whenever I use the word God, I need to remind myself and others what we mean by God. To us, God is not a person, but a life process. It's the life force itself, if you will. It's the way things work. It's the universal mind, the intelligence that designed the universe and created the universe is at work all the time, all around us. So there's one power and presence active in the universe and in my life, right? So one presence, one power. Call it God if you like, and it's all-knowing, all-powerful, and everywhere equally present. Yes? Okay with that? Okay. If it's everywhere equally present, where is it? In here, in me. So I am not God, but I am of God's stuff. I am of the one essence of the universe. And therefore, I am creative, because that's what the divine is, right? It's creation. And so I am creative, and the way I create is with my words. And the 4th principle is the way I connect. Well, I'm always connected with it, but the way I remind myself of my connection is through prayer and meditation. That's the purpose of prayer and meditation, not to beg for something to change, but to remember who I am, to remember what I am, and that I have the power to instigate the changes in my life that I want to see. And the 5th principle is, thank you. It's not enough to know, we must act on what we know. We must be impeccable with our actions. And as Lily Tomlin used to say, and that's the truth. Namaste. Sharon, will you lead us into meditation? Let us bring our American friends who are celebrating Thanksgiving this weekend into our consciousness as we turn within to that quiet place, to the stillness inside, and just breathe. And know that with each breath we are drawing into our physical bodies health, refreshment, the nurturing power of spirit. And as we become aware of spirit within, we become attuned to our higher truth, to our higher wisdom, to the guidance, to the integrity and the truth of who we are. So let's just draw in 3 breaths together, and with a great gusty exhale, let us let go of everything that is not in integrity. Are you ready? 1, 2, and 3. Knowing the perfection of who we are, we let it be, and so it is.
Oh. Okay. It's all you, buddy. It's all you. No. We could do. It's still in my head from last night.
What, you want me to?
Oh, we could. I kind of thought about putting Kyle on the spot. I got my phone out and everything. I was like, I can find the chart. We skipped the shout chorus. Just do the vocalese.
Sure.
That work? Okay, let me skip the chart out. One moment. This was not planned. There we go. Where is it?
Which mic do you want? I'll use Sharon.
Okay.
That's okay, Sharon.
Do you need any help back there?
Like, okay, sorry, just gotta get this set up. Singer.
Okay.
Hi. Okay, so this is a song that I performed last night with Nico. I wrote the lyrics, and yeah, it's got a bit of an environmental message, perhaps.
I'm gonna skip the chorus, the shout chorus though. So we'll
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and read. I don't have the solo here, so I'm just gonna accompany you. But
Okay.
it'll be cool.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
How about that? I swear there used to be trees that once were standing here. I'm sure you know of how it goes. A story told, very old, about a man who bought a mountain full of green gold and never thought he'd have to see it passed on to his kin. I wonder what you've heard of Bird. Clipped his wings, a lesson learned. I bet he really didn't know that damage accrued with every single mindless act of cutting that he'd do. Should let him take you around the property one day and tell you about how once you never even could see the bay. And so he did what any gentleman would. He went and bucked up all the wood and set off into motion all kinds of not good. He didn't need a life of thrills, simple wants, a stubborn will. I'd like to tip my hat to he who came here before and had the vision to restore this forest to its floor. I don't know how many they're letting me keep. I just know that money and talking are cheap, and I cannot be expected to leave the lights on when you go a saying something about some overarching arrogance. I don't know about the government to do. I hold receipt for everything here you can see, and I'm honored for the privilege to bestow and oversee. It might be great to put in a lake so merry and gay we'll be. And while I'm at it, I've a bone to pick, 'cause things were so traumatic when yours truly was just a kid. and I cannot remember no names, so I cannot accept any blame. Reason will only blossom for those who go into themselves to find their inner gold, that sweet, sweet gold. There never were a story so worth it that's ever been told. If you got it like I got it, you got to admit that you're blessed. So give it up for Birdman, whoop-de-doo. It's a heck of a lot, boy, a heck of a view. And all the problems you got, you know where to send them to. Sing a lullaby for Birdman, la-da-dee. Clear-cut the land so he could see the sea. And all the thanks you got, you send them to him. I know you know of how it goes with Birdman and his friends.
So I just have to say, just to explain, that Kyle took a famous Errol Garner piano solo and wrote words for every note that Errol Garner played and turned it into that. So that's how that, yeah, just to give it some context. It's crazy. It's crazy. Something different.
Thank you. Thank you, Kyle. There it is.
Back to work, Kyle. Back to work.
Thanks, Kyle. My faith in church is renewed because Kyle is wearing a Metallica t-shirt with a large skull on it.
Singing old-time jazz.
Yes. We have reached a new pinnacle of success at Unity Vancouver Island.
Full circle indeed.
Yes. Hell yes.
Good.
I did want to share that during the meditation, have you ever had one of those thought trains that you just go on and you can't get out of while you're meditating, and then all of a sudden you remember you're meditating and you come back?
Oh, yeah.
So I was meditating and I couldn't get Mark Zuckerberg's video of the metaverse out of my head. So for those that don't know, the name of Facebook is going to change to Meta, and it's all about you being able to create your virtual world. And so I had this in my head that I could virtually have a podium appear when I needed it and then disappear when I didn't need it. And how awesome would that be?
The meta podium.
And this all stems from, I had a conversation in one of my classes recently about virtual church, that Unity wants to experiment with virtual church and what that will look like in creating this virtual. And so we'd all have our glasses on at home, but not actually leave the house and have the whole church experience. And I was like, I'm in. Like, I'll play around with that idea. That's a great idea. Anyhow.
This is the only time I leave the house in the week. You can't do that to me.
Time for announcements. The Zoom Fellowship Circle right after service. There's a link on your page, and of course you can go to our newsletter. And I think it's the same link every week, is it not? Yes. So you could actually just save it, put it in a calendar, and then just click it anytime you wanted to. A virtual calendar, that is. Yes. Not a calendar on your desk where you write it in. That's not going to work. Anyhow, join us after service. This is just going crashing and burning in front of all of you. But I love you all, and so it's all meant in fun. Anyhow, right after service, today, I'm not sure if Patricia will be available. For a short time. We have our board meeting, and she will be attending that at some point. So that's first. Next up is board game night. How was board game night?
Oh, great. Yes. Wow.
You won. All right. So this is 7 p.m. on Fridays. I actually had it in my calendar, and family dinner happened at 7 this Friday. So I would love to attend. Is there anybody playing Risk?
Oh.
We could.
Because that would be, then we would be going till like 3 a.m. or something.
You can bring it.
Okay.
I would so be there.
Anyhow, that's going to be every Friday in the big building at 7 p.m. You're also invited to a community meeting hosted by Reverend Vicky, and this is because we're entering our eighth month as Unity Vancouver Island. So this will be a virtual meeting Tuesday, December 7th at 7 p.m. We invite everybody to attend, and this will be an opportunity for us to really get a sense of what's working, what's not working, anything that we can do to feed spirituality and feed the souls of all of our members, all of our congregation. And you know, as a person on the board, I will say that all of my experience on the board, even back when I was in the Chamber of Commerce in Vancouver and the Vancouver Board of Trade, if our membership doesn't let us know what they need from us, then we make it up based on what we think, because, you know, hopefully we've talked to enough people that we get a sense, but really getting the sense from people is the best way to direct the board. So we encourage everybody to attend this meeting and give their feedback. Serenity service with Reverend Vicky will be at the Metropolitan United Church on Monday, December 13th from 7 to 9 p.m. I'm not sure if there's a sign up for that or if you just show up. And that is that in Victoria? Mm-hmm. Yes, that's in Victoria. Unity Vancouver Island in Victoria. There we go. And as I mentioned earlier today, Advent begins today. So if you are somebody that does participate in Advent, today would be lighting the candle. The candle of hope, I like to refer to it as the candle of faith, but hope or faith, whatever works for you. And gratitude today will go out to Gilles for reframing. This is like all in the last week? Yeah. All in the last week, okay. Reframing and installing new basement door, installing new sump pump and dealing with flood, preparing boards for new fence, replacing paper towel dispenser, installing fire extinguishers, installing literature rack, removing low-hanging tree limbs in labyrinth, bringing Sally to help winterize the garden, and hold it. And just before service today, he dug 2 holes for fence posts, just because he had some spare time. Thank you, Gilles. Thank you. Wow. And at this point also, I would like to acknowledge Tova and Jim. It's for their 36th wedding anniversary. Yeah. Now, they met at Unity, and they've been... I have no idea, actually. But congratulations to you both. Thank you. Thank you for being an inspiration, yeah. And as always, we thank you for your financial support, whatever that looks like, whatever is comfortable for you. And if not financially, and it's through your effort and hard work or volunteering for something or participation, whatever that is, this community would not be a community without... Ever notice the bigger the crowd, the more people show up for it? You ever notice that? Right? It's the same thing here. Yeah. So thank you very much. And if you would like to donate financially, you can do it online at donations@unityvancouverisland.com, or you can drop off a check here anytime you'd like. And you can leave cash. Yeah. And I invite you, if you leave cash, to put it in an envelope with your name on it so you can get the tax receipt. Yes. Because we will accumulate those amounts. And join me for Unity's vision of Unity Worldwide Ministries, a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Are we singing this?
We are, but,
okay.
But
Say it first.
We're going to say it first. Okay. So join me in our abundance affirmation. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
God
think our kids are coming in.
Do they know?
Yay! That is so awesome. Oh. You kids are amazing. You guys get applause just for being you. It's so awesome. Because they are awesome. And join me for our children's blessing. We see the divine light shining as you. We love and appreciate you exactly the way you are. And our prayer for protection. The light that is God surrounds me. I am one with the light. The love that is God enfolds me. I am one with the love. The power that is God protects me. I am one with the power. The presence that is God watches over me. I am one with the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well, and so it is. Amen.